projects in North Philadelphia, I knew that we had to have a situation where there would be no interference.
And was any of it racial? Because North Philadelphia would be widely regarded as a predominantly black area, and was any of that racial, or was it all political?
Some of it was racial, but most of it was political. There were people who did not believe that you could do that in that community. There were some of those attitudes around. You can't put black people in charge of this kind of thing and make it work. But mostly, we had to make sure that they were free to operate. I went to see the mayor, Wilson Goode, and told him what we had in mind, and that if we were going to do that, there could be no political interference. He was absolutely on board with
No
that.
political interference?
None at all. He was enthusiastic about it. And I went to see John Street, who was president of the city council, because that was in his district. He was in that district.
And he would later become mayor.
And he would later become mayor. And I said to him, can we operate this without interference from the politics? He said, absolutely.
So you drew a line in the sand, basically, said we won't proceed unless you agree you're not going to be in the way.
I asked for his cooperation. It was not a line in the sand. I knew John Street and I knew Wilson Goode, the mayor, and I said, if we do this, we will not let anybody bring politics into it from the outside, and if you all will not do that, we can make this work. They both agreed and said, we will guarantee that none of that will happen, and it didn't.
Wow. Well, so now there's $25 million ready to be poured into this community in North Philadelphia. Ken, how do you begin to spend that money? What does it go into? What's the game plan?
Well, originally Beach was strictly a foundation, and they were giving out grants and providing technical support for programs. And this actually predates my time here. But Floyd really was brilliant in that one of the main things he did was he started this consortium with Cecil B. Moore organizations. So there were always people who were interested in improving the neighborhood, and the people who were still in the neighborhood, because it was over 60% abandonment of homes in the general area that we were working in. But to bring those people together and say, hey, what are you interested in doing? Here's projects that are realistic projects of what can be accomplished. What do you want to do? And then here's our ideals to try to help make that happen.
So was the consortium on the same page, though? Did they all have their own personal agendas, and you had to try and wrangle them in to say, no, let's all get in lockstep here?
Right. Well, part of that is obviously, you bring everyone together because you want to hear everyone's ideal in their community. What exactly are you interested in doing? Obviously, trash is a problem. One of the great clips that we have from the movie when you go view the film is people think, oh, it's a neighborhood cleanup, you're sweeping the streets and those kind of things. Yeah, that's all true, you're sweeping the streets and all. But in the beginning, there was neighborhood cleanups where literally there was so much trash to be removed. I'm talking about huge dumpsters that at one particular lot, trash was removed. Underneath of the trash, we found the school bus. Underneath the trash was a school bus.
Wow.
So we're not talking about just sweeping the streets, we're talking about full.
That's a lot of trash.
Yeah, that's a lot of trash. All right.
Wow. And so you were rebuilding homes. For anyone who's been along that area now, you see it's just a major transformation around Temple Avenue and so forth on Cecil B. There's an Interplex there, a complex with the movie theater and the shopping. Tell us what all you would hope to accomplish in that. What were some of the things you wanted to do?
Well, in the beginning, it was just stabilize the neighborhood. Like I said, there was so much disinvestment of the neighborhood between banks and some of the government agencies that kind of had written off the area, to kind of get them reinterested and to say, hey, we're here, we're going to be here, we're going to really make a difference. You can trust us. We have funding, which is always an issue because obviously, the city goes through cycles where funding is low, and that was one of those particular times where the city had its own financial troubles back then in those early 90s.
Did they trust you, though? Because people could look at you guys and say, oh, come on, here's a couple of big shots in suits, coming in our community with a lot of money and think they're going to run things. Did they give you some of that?
Yeah, well, I think Floyd was the key. He really was the glue of holding that together because he was born and raised in North Philadelphia. He was a manager at PHA and managed a lot of the public housing in that area. Mm-hmm. So many people knew him, and then later on, because he was president of the Board of Education. So
the other thing, though, is that they weren't just given $25 million to put in the bank and pass out. Every one of the projects that they put together and worked out with the community and the schools in that area and the businesses and all of that had to go through an approval process, and then the money was provided to do that project. Mm-hmm. They didn't have a pot of $25 million where they could just dip in and give out grants. That is not the way it works. So you had fail-safe and screening mechanisms in place to make sure that the money went to the appropriate project.
Give me a hit list of a couple of things that you were able to do and accomplish.
Just over the course of the
Yeah, the
past
course
20,
of the
in the 20 years. Well, there's been 1,000 new homes built in North Central Philadelphia. A lot of people don't realize that 1,000 new homes, mostly for low, moderate income families. We've had thousands of jobs between the construction jobs and permanent jobs. Obviously, there's a new shopping mall on Broad and Cecil B. Moore with a movie theater, retail shops. We have the radio TV studio that we use for public interest television programming and some of the local talk radio that's able to access it.
Wow, and the homes, I mean, that's not to be lost. That's not a small thing to be able to redo all of those homes in that area. Certainly, that had to give a new sense of empowerment to the people there. They had to feel good about this once they saw that you guys were real and were really doing things. Can you talk about what that felt like to know that the community was appreciative of this effort?
Well, I'll have to say, and one of the things I always appreciated, we just had a ribbon cutting for the last rebuilding of what we call the home ownership zone, which was between 17th and 20th Street, east to west, and then from North Montgomery down to Master. So the last of the 350 homes that actually got started back in the late 90s. That's how long it takes to do a project. But just to see some of the people that had moved back that said, hey, I'm originally from this area, and I had moved out to Germantown, or I had moved out of the city, and now
I left
back.
when it got bad, but
That's
now
right.
I'm coming back.
Now I'm coming back, or my family was here, but now I'm coming back, and it's great to drive through the neighborhood and to stand in the middle of it. You know, we have traditional homes, which are the row homes that were rehabilitated, but also the new homes that have garages and they have a front lawn and they have a rear yard. There's a clean, safe walkway now. There's a supermarket, fire station, library, everything that you would expect in a typical community that was missing, that had gotten destroyed.
And Dr. Watson, it began to get additional support too. And what I mean by support is that once this project was off and running and the ball was rolling, from state government to political, to power brokers in the city, everyone started coming around.
They did.
Isn't that right? You found that it was pulling people together?
They absolutely were pulled together because they saw that they could do things, not just talk. And when they talked about rehabilitating houses, he talked about the ones that were built. They also rehabilitated and upgraded houses which were there, that were not new, so that people could upgrade where they were living and live in there at an affordable cost. They also established the right relationships with city government. Richard Bazelon, who later became chairman of the board, was head of the Redevelopment Authority. So they worked out relationships with the Redevelopment Authority so you could piggyback federal money, state money, local money, along with foundation money to get things done. They also worked out relationships with PCDC so that when people develop that level of trust and you could begin then to produce products, the people in the community said, this is real.
Yeah, this is a fantastic
Exactly.
comeback story, and we could go on and on. We're getting short on time, but very quickly, Ken, what else is still to come for the Beach Project?
Right now we have under construction a international house, which kind of brings us out to the international community now coming to North Central Philadelphia. Working in partnership with Temple. Temple has become a great partner for doing community outreach. There was a time when the community kind of felt walled off from Temple. Temple was isolated and didn't want to really come into the community, and there was kind of a battle going on. And now that's pretty much dissolved. I mean, we're really true partners working to improve the community together.
Right. Well, I invite anyone watching this program, if you haven't been by there, if you haven't seen what they've done, go by and take a look. You will marvel at the accomplishments. And it just goes to show what can be done, as you say, when people really roll up their sleeves and get to work. And it's a template for positive things in a community and rebirth. I want to thank you. We're out of time. Ken Scott, Dr. Bernard Watson, good luck and best of luck in the future to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. I told you, it flies right by.